Did you know that there are way too many hats in Stardew Valley? Because I didn't, and I made it my first challenge to get all of them. For some reason, I thought there were like 50, but as you can see with this extremely long list, there's like 100, and I have not been like super prepared to do that, it turns out. And a lot of them require really intense stuff. Like it's not just buying them from the Hat Mouse or lucky drops. Those ones are actually the worst ones, the lucky drops. But otherwise you kind of have to do everything in the entire game just to get all the hats. So I guess we'll jump right in and talk about what I actually need for this challenge. And that basically is every single achievement. And then we need a ton of fiber later on for the living hat. We need to get a divorce and remarry. And we need lots of luck and a lot of patience. So it's a much bigger challenge than I originally thought it was, just because of like the general time span of it all. So in the meantime, at least this first week, I have to do quite a bit of setup. And I also have to finish this stupid key fruit quest that I've been doing. So that kind of took up like a lot more time than I initially thought it would. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna roll. My main plan right now is to kind of take care of a mix of the really easy ones while chipping away at achievements. And so the easy ones are obviously like the Hat Mouse stuff I've already got that I can just go buy. The Adventurers Guild stuff I can just go buy. Little things here and there. And I picked up an oak dresser just now, so I actually have somewhere to store all my hats. I could put them in a chest, but that's kind of a pain. And I'm also still working towards, obviously, the $1 billion. So I still need pressure nozzles, I still need to plant crops. I still have a lot going on. So it's kind of a messy week overall. But progress definitely gets made. And I have a spreadsheet of every hat and what it takes to get them. And I'll show it in this episode, I guess. This part. It's probably only going to be like 2 or 3 parts. I'll show it, but it won't be a very good shot. I'll have to like find a way to cut it up so it's more manageable. Because I basically have hats broken down into like 3 categories. There's ones that are like random drops and achievement based, I guess. Well, no, it's mostly like random drops. And then the next category is tailoring, and the next category is like purchasable via achievements, Hat Mouse, etc. And most of those ones are easy, aside from the ones that I get from missing achievements. The rare drops are, they are what they are. It's the living hat, it's the like little tiger slime hat, it's the mushroom hat. There's a lot of little ones. And like as you can see right now, I only have 5 hats. So I'm not doing super hot. But we'll get there. And I think something I really underestimated is our tailoring hats. Because there's a lot you have to do for tailoring. You have to get like dragon's eggs, ostrich egg, different cooked foods, things like that. So there's like actually a lot that goes into it. And that'll probably be the second to last thing I do. The fiber farming will probably be the very final thing I do. Because basically, as of now, the main plan, I guess, is take care of the achievements that are relatively easy, get married so Emily can make me my fancy hat, probably divorce her again, complete, buy all the hats, get as many of the rare drops as possible, and then I'm going to sleep for a really, really long time while fiber builds up on my Ginger Island farm so that I can just bomb it and reset just like Habu did in his perfection stream. That's like the general plan. There's going to be some hiccups, some little things that I have to change along the way. For example, I have to like grow mushroom trees I still have to like process wine. I still have to farm out a ton of omni geodes for, oh god, that's another problem. I need like 666 omni geodes to buy 2 hats. There's a lot of problems, and we'll go into those more as we pursue them more actively. Right now I'm kind of doing like a very general pursuit, just trying to get a couple extra hats on the board. Like I'm in here mostly to get an extra cowboy hat or turban if I can get one. Those are just random drops from the chests. I'm also in here for extra key beans and resources. I need some resources still, just so I can build more like crystallariums, build more sprinklers and that stuff. I also think I got a dragon's egg? Dinosaur egg. And I got a tibia, which I need for sewing stuff. So, I mean, everything I do will be little bits of progress here and there. I'm not super worried about it. I don't think this challenge will necessarily be like mega hard or super time consuming, unlike some of the suggested challenges. Some of the suggested challenges I've added to my list will be pretty rough. For example, one was like to catch every fish in iridium quality. That'll be tough, to say the least. But yeah, I don't know. We're just plugging along. Haley's still in the house. We'll have to get rid of her relatively soon. This is one of the only things I'll tailor this week, and it's because those key fruit will disappear once I finish the quest, and I didn't want to risk that happening and have to pick it up again in order to make that mask. But yeah, otherwise we'll probably tailor most of our stuff in like 1 or 2 really big chunks once we have the materials needed. The main issue is going to be the ostrich egg, which I really just should have kept my ostrich, because now I have to hope I get one from a volcano chest, and volcano chests will be like a relatively major part of this run, because I need like the deluxe pirate hat. I need what else? Something else, maybe just the ostrich egg. But those 2 things alone will be kind of a pain to grind out. But I'll also be in the volcano relatively often, because I'll have to grind out that tiger slime hat. Which, I don't know, I'm like 90% sure I've already got that hat somewhere in this run, but I think I trashed it. So it kind of doesn't matter, I guess, because I don't have it. And if I don't have it, it doesn't count. Oh, I also made, I don't know why I made this hat now, but I made it. It's just like with a tree seed and some cloth. Yeah, it's stupid. I don't know, I don't have like the best plan for this file. And that'll start showing pretty obviously, if it hasn't already. That hat, I forgot about that hat completely. I thought that was one that you couldn't get. But it turns out the only one you can't get is the panda hat. Oh, I finally claimed my statue too. I still haven't claimed Grandpa's statue. Like the regular perfection one. And I'll do that, I don't know, eventually. And then I don't know if I said, but I bought the Adventurers Guild hats. Those I have all of because I have completed, I've completed all the monster eradication goals. And then I'll slowly be building up this crystallarium area. I'll probably make it so it's just a nice little mirrored image with crystallariums down there. Nothing too crazy. I don't really need a ton right now. I eventually might if I decide to like... I was kind of thinking for another challenge I could work in... like spin a wheel and see if I need to gather 999 of a certain item. But I don't know if I'll do that or not. It could be really horrible. So, so maybe not. But yeah, a lot of my days are spent just waiting for seeds to be done. And like sometimes they just don't work out and you get mixed seeds, which is super trash, but you know, whatever. I'm not gonna reset over stuff like that. It's not worth my time. I'm just gonna kind of march forward. I'm getting divorced right now. It's 50 grand, which is kind of nuts, but that's okay. The other thing I need to do, I lost it. It's gone. Oh, the garbage hat. I looked at my predictor and there doesn't appear to be a garbage hat in my save file until year 8. So there may be a time when I'm just like sleeping, making wine, sleeping, making wine for like 6 years. Or 6 years? 5 years. Still a lot. Just to get that garbage hat. But I have to look into that. I'm not sure if like I could do like a dynamic seeding thing and make the garbage hat appear tomorrow. But I'm trying to avoid doing that. Ooh, I like this hat. The deluxe cowboy hat. Those are only available like every Wednesday or Friday or something. Anyway. Where was I going? Oh, the garbage thing. I don't want to like dynamic seed if I don't have to. But I may end up doing it just so I don't have to wait 8 years or 5 years for one garbage hat. And then yeah, I'm just making more wine. I'm making like, I think I have around 500 bottles of wine once a week right now. Which isn't a ton. It's like 1.5 mil every week. And pretty soon here I'll stop actually selling my wine every week and I'll just stockpile it. Because I'll switch my profession over to agriculturalist so I can get more starfruit harvests during the summertime. But there's what, 12 weeks or 16 weeks? 16 weeks in Stardew per year. So I'm only making like 24 million a year right now with my current setup. And so $1 billion, oh man, that's a lot of zeros. Oh, my phone won't let me do it. Well, I guess we'll do 100 million divided by that 24 million. What is that like? So that's gonna be 40 years at this rate. So we'll have to make some changes. And yeah, we'll make a lot of changes. We'll get more kegs going. Right now, this whole approach is going to be relatively scattered just because of the challenge aspect. Because I could spend my whole days just doing wine stuff, but then I would never get the challenges done. So I've kind of made it a rule in my own mind that like I have to be actively working towards the challenge in at least some capacity, like every day. So that's, I don't know, that's kind of what we're doing. Otherwise it's just me like sleeping a lot, and that's not fun to watch. I also bought a lot of strawberries. The reason I bought so many is because it'll be nice for next spring potentially if I still want to bother with them, but mostly because it's like a really low maintenance crop. I know like it's not necessarily the most efficient thing to plant right now, and also I'll plant some even later than now too, but it's so easy to deal with, and at the end of the year it'll just carry over into dead crops that I can scythe away. And so that's the main reason I'm planting them. Like I'll still do like the parsnip carryover crop thing for summertime, but like I'm not really concerned with my crops right now. I'm growing them for weird reasons. I don't have any good reasons to grow them. They're not min-maxed at all. And so yeah, that's just kind of the situation. I think this is our final dealings with the key fruit. Like I think once we harvest these last 2 sections, we're completely done and we can ship them all and be rid of that quest. Which means we'll have all of the key gems we need to buy a horse flute and all the sprinklers, just to kind of like add a little bit of efficiency. I'm also like starting to amass a lot of staircases, and I'll use them here and there, but like I just don't really care about the Skull Caverns right now, so I'm mostly just hanging on to them. Maybe I'll use them once a week, if that. I don't know. And now we're also, this is kind of weird because I forgot they're sisters. But now I'm just like in Haley's house. And I'm gonna eventually propose to her sister after divorcing her, which is an additional element of like Pierre style scumminess, you know? But that's just what we have to do. I need the hat, so I don't really have another choice. It does kind of feel, yeah, it's a bad reason to divorce somebody. I get that, but you know, this challenge it is what it is. And I'm also finishing upgrading my tools, which has been an extremely long process. So this challenge, I think it'll be like 3 parts, maybe 4 parts, and then we'll move on to something else. And so I don't know what that's gonna be yet. It's gonna be something smaller. I want to do like a 1 episode challenge and then maybe like a 4 or 5 episode challenge and go back and forth. So next week's will probably be like, or not next week, but next challenge will probably be, I don't know, something small. If you can think of something small that sounds good, recommend it to me. And I'll probably just do it. I have everybody else's recommendations written down, so don't think I forgot about it. I also pulled up all my sprinklers today from Ginger Island. I know I need Ginger Island for money, but I need it even more for the fiber, so I pulled that up. I destroyed the golden clock, or if I haven't, I will destroy the golden clock. I will, and I haven't done it yet. It's kind of a rough thing to have to destroy. It's a $10 million loss just doing this. So that sucks. And technically this file is no longer perfect because of that. But if I don't destroy that clock, I cannot get fiber on my Ginger Island farm. As far as I know, I hope I'm right. If not, that was a complete waste. And I also don't like the clock, to be fair. It's ugly and I just don't care about it. So, yeah, that's where we're at. We're set up now for fiber to start appearing and for our Ginger Island farm to slowly start turning into a forest of fiber that will destroy over and over again until we get the living hat. That'll be a very boring time for me. You will not witness it. You'll witness when the hat drops as proof that it dropped, but it's very unlikely that I'll show you the entire process. It'll probably be like, God, maybe like 2 to 4 hours, if not more, of resets. And yeah, it's gonna be a bad time. But whatever. I mean, I knew what I signed up for. And the rest of the day, I mean, we're just gonna do 1 week for now. So this is like a shorter 20-minute kind of deal. But I don't know, it was a chill week. We've made some progress. I'll link, like I said, I'll show this spreadsheet in a second, and you won't be able to read anything on it. And what it will basically show you, until I figure out a better sorting mechanism, or I guess I could just split the image up. I could have done that. I'm not going to now, but I can. Basically, it just shows you what hats are missing, what hats I have, and my percentage on the side, which is 48%. I know it's hard to read, but that's just kind of where we're at. I'll fix it next week. I don't know, I've been like weirdly lazy lately. I have no idea why. I've just been having like a really hard time getting like driven to do stuff, so I don't know. I think I'm snapping out of it, hopefully. And we'll resume our 2 video a week schedule instead of just this 1 video laziness. But for now, I will see you on Tuesday, I guess. Later.